What's up, guys? It's Dallas, aka Soup City, aka Squirtle Squad. In my first ever video, I'm going to be sharing how I got back into card collecting, my experience with the current card collecting boom, my current card collecting goals, and why I decided to start this channel. I decided to start this channel because I've been watching a lot of content out there, but I don't feel like I've been watching a lot of content that is kind of matching the goals that I have for myself and is working with the kind of budget that I have for myself. So I figured that I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who isn't willing to spend, hundreds of dollars on a pack, $50 on a single card, who, has been going to stores, calling up local card stores and asking if they have anything available, and they've been cleaned out. So I just wanted to share some of my story and hope that people resonate with that, as well as just kind of share me learning the process of collecting on a budget in 2021 during a huge boom, and share some of my struggles and share some of my victories, and hopefully it will be helpful and informative to you to help you achieve your goals as well. So this past Christmas 2020, my sister brought her Pokemon card binder to Christmas to show my cousins. My cousin had asked her to do that because he had just started getting into watching people stream opening booster boxes of the old cards that we collected in the 90s and early 2000s. We found out that some of the prices of the cards that we had have just skyrocketed in value. And so initially, my first thoughts were, I can make some good money now. As a kid growing up, I feel like this is one of those things that we heard a lot about, this and Beanie Babies and all sorts of things, that we heard that these collector's items would be worth a lot of money someday, and this kind of feels like that day, that everything has kind of led up to this point. And so I thought I could make a really good profit. So I got my old shoebox full of cards, literally a shoebox that was sitting in my dad's garage. I'll share another video going through that shoebox with you guys. But went through the shoebox of cards and just took a real trip down nostalgia lane. Kind of in watching some more videos and learning more about selling cards and grading cards, and the time and money and energy that was all going to take, mixed with just the joy that looking at my old cards brought me, and just kind of realizing, like, yes, I could make some money back from these cards, but unless I was literally getting thousands of dollars for these things, it wouldn't feel worth it to me to give up my collection. So I decided not to sell, but instead to start collecting again. So once I decided to start collecting again, I decided to make some goals for myself. I'm a very goal-oriented person, and so I wanted to give myself some parameters and to kind of better hone in like what I was trying to accomplish with my collecting, so that I wasn't just getting caught up with whatever trend was happening, or just buying whatever was available, because there is a lot going on with the current card boom. I've been checking in with Target and Walmart, like a lot of you probably have, and I go to see completely empty card sections of the stores, and called into some card stores and asked if they had just any Pokemon cards in stock, and they said, yeah, we're cleaned out. So I wanted to have some more structure to figure out what I wanted to accomplish. So the main reason that I was getting back into collecting is, like I said, was for nostalgia, for just kind of reliving um, the joy that collecting cards as a kid brought me. And going through that shoebox just made me realize like what a big part of my life it was, what a big part of my childhood it was. And in this time with COVID, um, there's not a lot that we can do outside of our homes, and um, something that I really like to do is travel and go out to eat, and those are things that we just can't really do that often anymore. I figured that this is kind of a fun thing that I can do, and I can still do it on a budget. So that was like a clear parameter that I set for myself right away. I'm a pretty cheap person by nature, and so I knew that I wasn't willing to spend the sort of money that a lot of people are spending now. Like I was never going to spend thousands of dollars on booster boxes or even a couple $100 on some old packs. That's just not the kind of um, collecting that I'm willing to do. And at this point in my life, like, I'm married, I have bills to pay, and there's no way that I could justify to myself like spending that sort of money on cards. So, that's me. I know that everyone is at a different point in their life. They have different kinds of income, different ideas of how to use their money, what kind of disposable income they have. But that's where I'm at. I decided that the nostalgia, I want to collect a lot of the classic cards. And I know that I once had a lot more, and somewhere along the way, whether my mom sold them at a garage sale or I traded them to a friend, I don't have a lot of the classic cards that I once had. So that's kind of one of the big priorities that I have is one of my goals is to collect a lot of the cards that I would consider the classics. Not only am I interested in Pokemon, obviously, but there were actually 3 series that I was really big into and that I still really enjoy and that I still want to collect now. And that's Pokemon, Digimon, and as my friend growing up called it, Yugimon, the 3 mons, Yugioh. They all have their own barriers and difficulties and unique qualities to the current state of their collecting. So Pokemon, as I've mentioned, is really expensive now. Stores are cleaned out, and a lot of new products and especially old products are going way above retail price. So that's a big barrier there. Digimon cards, the old classic cards from '99 are really scarce. I have been looking on eBay and different places, and you see a few cards here and there, or some big bulk lots, but not really a lot of the cards that I'm looking for to complete my collection. And there's a new set actually of Digimon cards that has recently been released. They've been having some issues with shipping to the U.S. and so some countries have had them for a while, some haven't. The U.S. just recently got shipments. I looked up on their website. They had a list of vendors that were going to be selling their cards. I called one of those stores less than a week from when they said that it was released, and they were sold out already. And they said that they're not going to get another shipment for a month. So that's a barrier for those cards as well. The nice thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is there are lots of reprints. A lot of what I would consider the classic cards, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, all of that stuff has been reprinted maybe even dozens of times. There's lots of different artwork, obviously, but even some of the classic artwork has been printed in several different sets. So that's a lot more easy to obtain and also cheaper to buy as singles. For Pokemon, I wanted to finish the original 151 classic Wizards of the Coast set. Um, so that's a little vague because, you know, there's base set, jungle, fossil, um, that all contribute to the 151. So basically just all of the base set cards, and then jungle fills in some more, and then fossil fills in some more. So there are some that are duplicates like Zapdos and Raichu. So I just want to finish, complete what I would consider to be that classic 151 of the original cards. For Digimon, I want to complete the Digidestined. So all the main characters of the show, their Digimon, and all of the evolutions. And then also all of the major villains. So Devimon, Edamon, Myotismon, the Dark Masters, those classic cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just a lot of the classic anime cards from Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, maybe some more. That's one category that's a little less clearly defined for me because there just are so many cards that are considered classics for Yu-Gi-Oh! Then I wanted to collect just some of my subjective favorites. So I've been playing Pokemon the video game, the Game Boy game, since Pokemon Blue. That's why Squirtle and Blastoise are my favorite Pokemon, and got my ceramic Squirtle there. But I've been playing the games since Blue and onward, so I have a lot of different favorite Pokemon cards outside of the original 151, and so I want to collect some of those cards as well. And just the artwork that I like, I don't really care about, you know, the value of it, the grading of it. You know, if it's considered really rare or anything, I just want to collect the cards that I want to collect for my own personal enjoyment. Same thing with Digimon for the new set. You know, I just want to collect some of my favorite cards, and they have some really cool artwork now for these new cards. So I'm looking forward to collecting some of those. For Yu-Gi-Oh, I do have a lot of my favorites and a lot of the classics, but I'm looking to potentially, because Yu-Gi-Oh is so, the show is based on the cards. It's based around the card game. That's one that I've continued to pick up periodically throughout my life, and played with a couple of friends just for fun. I've never gotten into like a competitive scene, but it would be fun just to you know, get a few cards just to make some budget competitive decks that I could continue to enjoy with friends, or maybe enter a tournament someday. I don't know if that's really a goal that I have, but it would be nice to be able to if I ever wanted to do so. Last thing is storage. I made some goals for how I was going to store all of this stuff. I don't want it to stay in this shoebox that I've had for who knows how long. I want to keep the cards in as good of condition as possible. I want to be able to easily display them if I want, or to be able to show my friends, or to look at myself personally while still keeping the cards in good condition. So my goal is to have a binder for all three of those, one for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Digimon. Get some more boxes that are made for trading cards to keep them in better condition. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below on what got you back into card collecting, and what are some of your goals for your collection. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.